Eating a poor quality diet doesn't just affect body composition, it can affect our energy levels too, and constantly bouncing between sugar high and mid-morning slump can leave us feeling flat and depleted. In this video, I'll share my strategy for creating meals that are nutritious and satisfying, with enough power to get through a busy day, keeping us feeling full and focused. I'll offer some simple food swaps and a couple of recipes to make life easier. Hi, I'm Ruth, I'm a health coach and I make evidence-based health and wellbeing content for over 50s women. As always, this video is for information, not medical advice. I share what the science says, not what you have to do. Health is personal and context matters. As we covered in part 1 of this series, feeling tired in midlife is incredibly common, particularly if we're not eating enough or missing key nutrients. We need a varied and nourishing diet to get the vitamins and minerals that support metabolism, mood and energy. But there's a pattern that I see quite often. Women in midlife start eating less, and this could be in response to shape change or weight gain or just some vague feeling that they're not doing things correctly. But this can backfire because if we end up underfueling, it can make us even more tired. It's very easy to fall into a less is better mindset, but that only works for so long, and then the body starts fighting back if it feels underfed. And let's be honest, food restriction is miserable. What we really need is a way of eating that's sustainable and not a short-term fix. Something we can keep up for life, something that nourishes the body and gives us enough energy to live well. Now, before we dive into the specifics, a quick note. Now, there's lots of different ways of eating, and I'm going to be sharing what works for me based on how it makes me feel in my body and my interpretation of the nutrition evidence. But what works for one woman doesn't always work for another woman, and that's okay. But what's not okay is assuming that your way is the only way and getting a little bit fighty about it. Nutrition is personal and it can also be a touchy subject, so let's keep things kind in the comments. Now, most evidence-based eating plans all agree on one thing, and that's to build your meals around whole foods and reduce the ultra-processed stuff where you can. Listen, life is busy and we all rely on shortcuts now and then, but if you start with real ingredients and home-cooked meals, it will make a difference, including how long your meals keep you full for. When it comes to building energy-sustaining meals, I focus on building meals which are filling and satisfying. A couple of quick terms for you. Firstly, satiation. That's the biological mechanisms that stop you overeating, and it's mostly stomach stretching and the fullness hormones. Satiety is what keeps you feeling full between meals, and satisfaction is the psychological side of fullness. So how satisfied are you with what you ate? You can be physically full, but not satisfied and feel like something is missing. If I gave you a massive plate of boiled cabbage to eat, you would probably be satiated, but would you be satisfied? Well, probably not, unless you really like boiled cabbage. I focus on a simple formula: protein plus fibre from whole grains, fruit and vegetables, plus a little healthy fat. They work together to stabilise blood sugar, support gut health and keep us feeling both full and satisfied. So I'm going to run through each in turn. Now, protein is the most filling macronutrient, so I try to include some at every meal. Proteins are made up of building blocks called amino acids, and meat and dairy are complete proteins because they give you all the essential amino acids the body needs. So the essential ones are the ones you can't make yourself, you have to get them through food. Now, some plant proteins are complete, such as chia or soya, but others are incomplete. So the veggies and vegans can get what they need by eating a variety of sources, including beans, and canned beans are really cheap, so they're good, and legumes such as peas, chickpeas and lentils. And these all contain a mixture of protein, carbohydrate and fibre. Now, my favourite protein sources at breakfast are Greek yogurt and eggs, although I am a fan of a chia parfait as well, and I've got some breakfast recipes for you later. Now, I do eat meat, mainly poultry and fish, but I like to get my plant proteins in as well because there's a wealth of evidence showing that they're associated with long-term health benefits. Now, oily fish like sardines and these mackerel are like a triple win because they've got protein, they've got the health-promoting omega-3 fats, and because they've got the tiny bones in them, they've got calcium as well. Just if you're buying them like this, canned in tomato sauce, just check the ingredients because some have literally just got tomato in, others have got added sugar. Now, there are three types of carbohydrate: sugar, starches and fibre. Fibre is the non-digestible part of carbohydrate, and vegetables are a great source. So a really good strategy is to look to get veg to make up half your plate. Fibre supports digestion and feeds your gut microbiome, which in turn influences inflammation and energy levels. Fermentable fibres get broken down with something called short-chain fatty acids like butyrate as a byproduct, and butyrate has been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties. Now, whole grains, they provide fibre, nutrients and are a great source of slow-release energy, particularly when combined with fat and protein. And this is in contrast to their more refined cousins who release their energy quickly. So a tiny bit of science now. Now, the PREDICT-1 study that looked at people eating meals and found that they tended to feel hungrier when they had a dip in their blood sugar levels after a meal, and that was more pronounced where there'd been a steep rise in blood sugar during that meal. This hasn't always been replicated in lab studies where pure glucose was given, and they use continuous glucose monitors, and the readings from these have been shown to vary quite a lot in non-diabetic people. However, in the real world, many women say they simply feel steadier and more full when they focus on those fibre-rich carbohydrates. And these complex carbs have been again shown to have long-term health benefits. Now, a few practical swaps that I use. Obviously, white rice can be substituted for brown rice, but there's other grains you can use, such as freekeh or bulgur wheat, or here I've got some pearl barley and some quinoa. And you can make quite a nice risotto out of pearl barley, and apologies to any Italians if that is sacrilege. I quite like it, and I'm just going to put these down. Now, instead of white pasta, you can obviously use wholemeal pasta, but if you want a good gluten-free alternative, the legume pastas are quite good. This is some red lentil pasta. And again, with noodles instead of rice noodles, a gluten-free alternative is to use edamame bean noodles, which in the UK you can buy these in Holland and Barrett. I'm not being sponsored. My channel is way too small for that. You can also get them on Amazon. And they're really good because they don't go soggy when they're cooked. Now, to be clear, this is not about giving up white pasta and white bread forevermore. Listen, if you're in Paris, eat the baguette. It's just about making the simple swaps that keep you feeling full and focused and your gut bugs happy. And finally, the healthy fats. Now, fats have been somewhat demonized over the years, but they're essential for our body. They keep us full, they're used in the production of hormones, and they help us absorb fat-soluble vitamins. So think olive oil or avocados, or whole or ground seeds like hemp seed and flaxseed. Now, the PREDIMED trial, which was a really big trial of the Mediterranean diet, that showed benefits to heart health from adding in either olive oil or nuts to the diet. And a handful of nuts makes a really good snack on the go, or a piece of fruit with some nut butter. Obviously, if you're allergic, seeds are a great alternative as well. And chopped nuts and seeds can be sprinkled on your breakfast yogurt or added to salads or soups. One of my favourite lunches is a salad made with some soft goat's cheese, some pear and some walnuts, because it's really delicious. And what you can also do is swap out those supermarket salad dressings, which often contain sugar, for some simple extra virgin olive oil with balsamic vinegar. Now, I know olive oil is quite expensive, but a little does go a long way. So by combining fibre, proteins and good fat, you can create meals which fuel your body, keep you satisfied and stabilise your energy without cutting anything out. It's not about restriction, it's about getting enough of the right things in consistently. Now, I didn't go into breakfast here because I covered it in part 1, but if you would like a PDF with 10 energy sustaining breakfast recipes in, I will leave the link here. You can either sign up to my Friday newsletter while you're there, or just download the PDF, it's up to you. And if you found this video helpful at all, give it a like, share with a friend, or subscribe for more midlife health content. I'm going to leave a video here from part 1 of the series, and next time we'll cover sleep.